Welcome back. M&V Art is a really cool multifunctional art space in Wynwood founded by Valentina Garcia and Molly Parkerson. Here's Molly to paint you a picture. Molly, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great, but forget me. You're the one with the big fancy art gallery that's open now that, you know, is so amazing. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Tell me about M&V Art.
M&V Art is a company that I created with Valentina Garcia, my partner, about 2 months ago, to be exact. And our purpose is to bring a little bit more of culture into the Wynwood Art District, support the art community there, and provide artists with advice into how to get their work marketed in the international art market, work with collectors to broaden their collection, and then we have a small space for exhibiting some of the works of the artist and other things that we might come along.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I know I just called it a gallery, but it's not really a gallery per se. No. And I feel like when I said that word, probably part of you like wanted to punch me in the face, which
not at all.
I get that a lot. But no, it seems like you got a lot of different kind of cool things happening.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to sort of pinpoint exactly what it is that M&V Art does. Valentina has a huge background in a secondary market, and that's really beneficial to us. I had this experience with managing artists, so we're sort of putting everything together and creating something new. And then, you know, Wynwood is a great place to exhibit art, so it's sort of finding a good flow between all three things.
So we're going to talk to her in a couple minutes, and I'll ask her all the dirt about you, but I guess you get to go first. What's it like working together?
It's been fantastic. It's been really, really great. It was a little nerve-wracking, I guess, at first, because Valentina and I only known each other for about 6 months. I met her off an ad on Craigslist, so, you know, there's a lot of things. Yeah.
Wait a second. So this now great new venture that you guys are embarking on, you've known each other for 6 months and you met on Craigslist.
Absolutely.
I wonder if that's in like the Steve Jobs book of, you know, how to build a successful empire.
I hope so. No, I think, you know, it's the age of social media, so I think it's a natural way to meet people, and I never expected to meet a business partner on online classifieds, but it just kind of turned out that way.
What was the post for?
It was I was looking for an assistant, and Valentina heard. She was in New York at the time, and she heard of the opening, and decided to submit her application. And when I read her resume, I was blown away, and I was super happy. You know, I called everything off. I found my assistant, and her first response when I spoke to her on the phone was, "I don't want to be an assistant. You know, I'm a director at a gallery." So I was a little, I guess, disappointed at that point. But after we met and we talked, it just kind of felt right. And I don't know, it's been great ever since.
Well, that's really cool. What a fun, interesting story.
Yeah.
So we mentioned that you manage some artists. That sounds really interesting to me. Tell me more about that.
I think artists are really good at what they do, which is making art. And not all of them are talented in promoting themselves and marketing themselves. And that's sort of where we step in. It's becoming a little bit more popular as well within the art community to have an agent or a manager for the artist as opposed to just a gallery. The artists are looking towards opening a little bit more their opportunities, and sometimes the agent helps you find things that are out of the gallery's reach. So
are artists difficult to work with? Are they high maintenance?
Some of them are.
Yeah.
But they're usually the very talented ones.
Right. Cutting off ears and doing ridiculous things like that. You guys have a really exciting exhibition going on right now, which we're actually going to talk about with Valentina in a minute. But it was great to speak with you, and now I'm going to talk to her and hear what she says about you.
Sounds good.
But best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Oh, it was awesome to meet you.
Same here.
Okay, the other half of the dream team. Valentina Garcia, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I wasn't going to mention this because I didn't know about it, but I heard off camera that the first time you met your now partner, you opened a book of serial killers or something like that. You had this book, and I have to ask you about that. Why do you have a book about serial killers, and should I be scared?
No, you don't have to be scared. Well, back in New York, my coworker and me, we were obsessed with Dexter, so we were always talking about, you know, whatever crimes he committed. So one day on Amazon, I came across this book for like $2 on serial killers. So
okay, well, It's good to know. You listen, now I feel like all of South Florida knows that about you. You guys have an exhibition of photos of Frida Kahlo.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Yes, we're very excited to open, our space with such an important exhibition of these photographs by a Colombian photographer called Leo Matisse. And these photographs, the negatives were, they found them last year in the foundation in Mexico, and they've never been edited and they've never been published. And fortunately, they were giving to us for this exhibition. And I know Alejandra Matisse. She's the daughter of the photographer, and I met with her in New York right before I came here. And she asked me, what are you doing these days? And I said, well, I'm actually moving to Miami and I'm opening a space with somebody. And I asked her flat out, is it okay if we can inaugurate our space with these photographs? And she immediately said yes. So that was very unexpected because there are much other galleries and museums that would have loved to exhibit these. So we're very happy.
Hey, you're starting off with a bang.
Yes.
Now you have to top that every single month.
Yes.
What's the response been on the pictures?
The response has been really well. I mean, we've had a lot of people come in this week, and the day of the opening, we had around 100 people or more show up, and it was a great environment. Everybody loved the pictures. And Frida is, she's such a great symbol of modern culture that everybody responds well.
She is the rare woman that could pull off the unibrow and the mustache.
Yes.
I mean, there are not many women who could do it, but
yes.
she can. And I understand the artist, Leo Matisse, he was, and I guess still is, considered a pretty big deal, right, in the art community.
Yes, he is. He's a really well-known photographer. He traveled around the Middle East and the U.S., and he lived in Mexico for 10 years during the 40s, where he met Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera and a lot of, personalities. So
it's interesting because you hear about like all, whether it's a painter or photographer, years after they die, they find these sort of hidden works that nobody knew ever existed. And I guess I would feel like if you were an artist, everything you take, would be sort of public domain. But sometimes they just kind of hold on to stuff.
Yes. Well, actually, there was a discovery in Frida Kahlo's house in the museum in Mexico last year, also of her personal belongings that were closed up for many, many years. So that's also something very interesting for people to know about.
Yeah, that's great. So what's the next step going forward with M&V Art? What else do you guys have planned?
We don't know yet. We have a few things that we're thinking about, but we plan to always show artists, that we both like, and that established artists. So.
And you're in such a great location too.
Yes, we love our building. The Wynwood building is such a great place.
Yeah, it's such a fun, vibrant, artistic community down there. All right, so people are now inspired. They want to see the pictures of Frida, and they want to learn more about you and your place, your shop, your gallery. It's called A Million Things. It does a million things. Your artist management warehouse.
Right.
How do they get more information?
Our website is www.mvart.co.
Okay, www.mvart.co.
Yes.
Okay, that's easy enough. And I did ask Molly about working with you, so I'll let you have the last word. What's it like to work with her?
Interesting. No, it's
Did
great.
you hear that?
It's been really great. We get along really well, and we're always laughing, and it's nice. And we have the same views in art, so that's really important.
Yeah, and you have a book about serial killers, so she's probably terrified of you, which is, if that works out in your benefit.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Continued best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina, and that is all for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, a big thank you to all of our guests. And remember, if you have any ideas for stories that we should cover on Inside South Florida, all you have to do is tweet me at Dave Azer, or you can follow us on Facebook at Inside South Florida. Have a great rest of the weekend, and remember, you can catch us all week from 7 to 9 a.m. on Eye Opener. So we'll see you during the week, and we'll see you right back here, same time and place, next weekend. Take care.